What's going on, YouTube? Happy Wednesday to those of you who went to work and doing things and just trying to live life. I got something to talk about today, and I'm going to entitle this one It Doesn't Matter Who You Are. Now, one may ask, what do you mean by that? Well, let me give you an example. I don't care if you're handicapped, if you're black, if you're white, if you're without a father, your parents were drug addicts, you came from a foster home, they told you that you was almost aborted as a kid, you have a serious illness. I don't care what circumstance you're in, you can be successful. I no longer want to hear black people say, I'm not successful because the white man is holding me down. I no longer want to hear a Latin person say, hey, I can't become successful because I can barely speak the language. Because here's the deal. So I'm listening to Brian Tracy today, who's a beast, by the way. The guy is, man, the principles that this guy has are amazing. But anyways, so this is what he says about the ones who are successful. Now, I want you to apply this to your life. And remember those categories that I told you. He said that one should start off, if they have a goal, with a couple things. 1, a yearly goal. 2, a monthly goal. 3, and you break that goal down as much as possible and you work on it 7 days a week. So let's talk about that for a second. It is said that Henry Ford had said that you can achieve any goal, no matter how big it is, as long as you break it down to as simple as possible, as small as possible. So you mean to tell me I could be a millionaire one day if I just break it down in segments, break it down in issues? So my yearly goal is I want to make, let's just stop. You know what? Let's just stop talking about a millionaire for a second. Some of us has never made $100,000. So let's just say this year I want to be a 6-figure guy. How do I do that? How do I do that monthly? And how do I do that daily? What do I have to do daily in order for that to happen? But here's the deal. Once you work on something daily, it doesn't look like Mount Everest. It's small. Even if it's only one thing per day. Making a phone call. Making another phone call the next day. Making one more phone call the next day. Because it's easy to manage a goal when it's small versus when it's massive. See, because a lot of our goals are too big. We all have said, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be successful. I want to, show up at hotels and go to Dubai and just many different things. But we fall at that point into the wish factor. Because nothing, and I mean nothing, can happen unless you have a plan for it. So, Brian Tracy talks about this. He says, break it down in categories. Write your goals down with your fitness for the year, your finance for the year, your family for the year, and your personal things that you want to achieve that year. I mean, you want to get, like whether it's a house or a car or whatever it is, write those things down. Out of the group, write 10 things down. Right? And I wrote down actually what he called that, because there's something that you're supposed to do after you do that. I don't have it in front of me, and forgive me for, actually, what did he call it? Okay, he has this tactic that he calls mind storming, and that's where you write each one of the ideas down. But this is what you do when you say, okay, I want to make $100,000 this year. This is what you say: how am I going to make $100,000 this year? At that point, he wants you to put 20 answers down to that question. He said your first 3 or 4 will be easy. It's the other ones that will be hard. It will cause you to do critical thinking and things of this nature. But he claims that if you do this over some time, this will become easy in all your goals. And then once you put in your mind of what you are actually trying to achieve and what you want, you pick one of those ideas, you start immediately, and you work on it 7 days a week. Now think about that for a second. How many of us have actually worked out every goal in our life that we want to achieve that way? Or do most of our goals sound like this? I want to be a millionaire. That's it. We just get lip service. I want to be a millionaire. I want to make 6 figures. Then nothing else happens. I want to be a lean, mean fighting machine. Nothing else happens. I think we think because we watched The Biggest Loser that would just automatically happen and something like that. You know? I mean, it's so, I've just been slapped in the face. Because I always thought for a second, well, maybe I am a goal-oriented type guy, but not to that level. When I heard the way that he writes those goals down, I said, that's amazing. I can see how they can take you from this level all the way up to the highest level. Because it's no magical formula. You're not born, people are not born with golden spoons in their mouths. And this is another thing he said too. A lot of us have this thing in our mind that, well, most people in America were born with wealth. So if they're wealthy, I see a wealthy man, it's because his parents gave it to him. Nope. Most people in America are first generation millionaires, meaning that at one time they had no money. Now they have money. They came up with a plan, they worked the plan every day, and they kept moving. I want to hear from you guys, because you guys are the ones that make this channel. Is this your lifestyle? Is this something that you do? And be honest, if you have never written a goal down to this level, to that level, whatever, and you're wondering why you're not achieving your goals and you're not where you want to be in life, it's because of that. And it doesn't matter about color. There are people with no legs that are millionaires. There are people with serious defects that are millionaires. What's the difference between them and you? Let me hear your answer.